William Robinson, Persuasive Speech. So the debate surrounding GMO labeling in the United States has raged on for over a decade. Although you may not be aware, everyone that you know, including yourself, has been exposed to GMOs. So what are GMOs, you may ask? Carol Bartolotto of the Huffington Post describes GMOs as genetically modified organisms, which are often called genetically engineered foods in the scientific circles. These are produced by forcing DNA from a totally different species into a plant or an animal. The resulting organism contains elements that would never occur naturally. For example, genetically modified herbicide-resistant soybeans have DNA from bacteria and viruses that have been spliced into the DNA of the soybeans themselves in order to protect them from herbicides and insects and small varmint, basically. The USDA estimates that 93% of soybeans produced in America contain genetically modified organisms. This is startling because soybeans are apparent in so many of the things that we use every day, including vegetable oil, flour, soaps, cosmetics, and even popular baby formulas like Gerber and Similac contain genetically modified organisms. However, soybeans themselves are just the tip of the iceberg. Almost all of the processed foods in America contain genetically modified organisms, including corn, our most produced crop in the United States. 85% of our corn in the United States, according to the USDA, is genetically modified. And if you can see here, it kind of has some of the numbers for some of the popular crops in the United States. The long-term impact of GMOs kind of remains unknown. However, scientists from the University of Harvard estimated in 2012 that there may be unexpected effects and potential pitfalls stemming from long-term GMO exposure. Despite the prevalence of GMOs and in the American diet and its overwhelming support for GMO labeling in the United States, the U.S. currently does not require any foods to be labeled as GMOs. And these are some of the main points. GMOs are everywhere. Consumers don't know they're buying GMO foods, and safety testing is limited. I'm also going to go into some of the countries that label GMOs as well as how they're unhealthy and why we want labels. This graph right here is meant to represent kind of the upward spike in genetically modified organisms in the United States over the last 6 years or so. One reason people oppose genetically modified organisms is because it's potentially dangerous. The lab rats in this picture have been exposed to flour that's been genetically modified without it being cooked. This is just them eating raw flour. The problem in all this is that consumers are unaware that they are buying GMO foods, which precludes them from making informed decisions as to their grocery buying habits. And of course, this is potentially dangerous if the same effects were to happen to humans as what happens to these rats. Studies have not shown GMOs to be more dangerous than regular foods to humans. However, there still exists the possibility, once again according to the studies done at Harvard. However, foods containing GMO animal DNA or GMO animals present other potential risks. The Aqua Advantage salmon produced by Aqua Bounty Technology has already been bred, and this basically is a